You're listening to Tuned In with Raph and Nick Webb.
No, I think you could do intro. I think I did it last week.
You sure? No, I think I did. I did it last week. But it's up to you.
We should do it every episode. That's
Okay,
actually something
that's
people.
a good idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this a thing. Congratulations, you're on the first episode of something big.
This paper. Oi. Wait, does that mean you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Is this your paper?
Yeah, it was paper.
Oh my
you know, like
goodness.
Joey does the thing. Oh, wait, he does this.
Oh,
He does the fire.
But yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Tuned In with Raph and Nick Webb. We're here today with an extremely special guest. We've got Rue, the cultured black kid. He's got a new EP out. He's a host on Triple J. I mean, you're going to hear all about him. Honestly, if you don't know who this man is, I don't even need to introduce him. Then, go do your research before you even come and listen to the podcast. We're coming to you live from the Lab Studio, the best studio, not just in North Strathfield, in all of Sydney. Rue, how you going?
I'm good. Staying busy, but, I'm here. I'm grateful for, that opening, all the love, and, to be here and to do what I do.
Bro, honestly, we're the lucky ones. We are blessed to have you on. I'm so grateful that you said yes and that you came on the pod, because we hear you a lot on Triple J. We hear you a lot talking to guests on your podcast, Rue's Room.
Yep.
But I don't feel like you ever get the opportunity to sit down and be in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Like, you're always the person that's doing the interviewing. You're always shouting out the small artists. Like, you are such an integral part of the Sydney music scene. It is just ridiculous. Like, if I scroll through your Instagram, yeah, all right, I'm glazing already. I know. All right, give me a break. If I scroll through your Instagram, like, you have the weekly, I'm pretty sure it's weekly, the playlists.
Culture Black playlist, yeah.
Bro, like, just everything is just like, if we are wondering, like, how do we fix the Sydney music scene? This man is part of the answer, like, for sure. So tell us what's been going on, bro. Just give us a rundown.
So, just pretty much wrapping up this year. I'm super grateful for how this year has been. Granted, that's literally, how many days in was it? Like 10 days in, I got hacked. My Instagram got hacked.
No way.
At the top of the year, I pretty much lost
Back in January.
all the effort that I put in last year. I literally had just hit 3K, and then
So you had to set up a new account.
I pretty much just turned my music account. So what is my now, what used to be my music account, back into the Culture Black Kid
Yeah.
account, and then just rebuilt from
Your
there.
music one.
Yeah, and then made a new music one, and then have built that up.
Oh,
So I pretty much spent this whole year rebuilding from all the work that I put in last year. But thankfully, based on how last year went, I'd gathered a nice culmination of people, and it maybe herded out some of the people who they followed, but weren't as consistent. The ones who were genuinely interested in my content, followed back straight away. Thankfully, I got 1K back in the first month, so it was so nice to, again, it was super appreciative. And from there, I was like, okay, cool. Reset that. Let's go from there. And then, I've had such a good year with all the interviews that I've done of all the amazing local artists. Some of the level of the artists that I'm getting, and the people who are hitting me, some of these labels, it's yo, I never thought that. And then I've been doing stuff with Complex, who it's yo, I grew up watching
Awesome.
Everyday
So
Struggle,
sick. So sick.
that, and then even being a part of the Converse All Stars, and being a part of that amazing community. It's so grateful, but I know it's just the start.
Oh, 100%.
It's very much just the start.
Bro, far out. What's the best collab that you've done this year? I know you've had heaps of big artists.
Yep.
For me at least, I'm
For
looking
sure.
up to them at least. On your podcast,
Yep.
you got the Complex thing going.
Yep.
What's been the most exciting thing for you so far?
So, to rattle off, I guess if we're going in the interview content side, my favorite interview that I've done this year is probably Forrest Claudette or Becca Hatch. They were both just so fun to talk to. I was so nervous coming in, but you'd never think that they were at the like they were like big stars the way that they communicate
Like
with
just
you.
humble.
It's just like, you just walk in, yo, what's going on?
So sick.
Bants, jokes, and it just makes things so comfortable off the rip. You know, the one thing that I always, worry about in the scene, and have still witnessed as well, is when you go to gigs and you interact with someone who's a little too big for their boots, but seeing people like that who are part of labels, like major labels, who then talk to you like, yo, like you're just another, homie, is just so fun and, makes for amazing experiences. So that's, and then like I mentioned, Complex doing locals only, that's such a fun collab. Shout out to Rachel, shout out to Vic for, trusting me with that. And then musically, again, shout out to Aztec Flow, Southern Jewels, out right now. We have been working on a whole bunch of stuff. There's a couple features on a remix. Hopefully I hope it's out. When's this dropping?
This will be out on by Monday.
By Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe then I'll cut that. We're working with a whole bunch of amazing artists that, might be part of some future stuff that I'm very, very excited that I'll disclose. You'll see it when it comes out.
Hell yeah. Okay, nice. I was just talking to you before Nick walked in about your full-time job, and I think this is insane. We've now had 4 guests in a row
Yep.
You're a teacher?
that are teaching.
Yep. I'm a high school teacher.
How crazy is
No
that?
way.
Can you tell us what it's like just doing the regular everyday job, trying to balance Triple J, trying to balance the pod, trying to balance music? Like, what does it look like for you? Do you hate children yet?
Only some. Small handful. Nah, they're great. And shout out to the school that I'm at. They're super amazing, super understanding. But yeah, it's cool. I always enjoy teaching. It's fun interacting with the kids, seeing what they like. It's, going back and forth and bants with them. I can swear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay, amazing. Talking shit with them, them talking shit back. And
Wait, what year do you teach?
year 7 to 9.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like 12 to
I'm
14
thinking
year
you're
olds.
like primary school, and I'm
Nah,
like,
nah,
as if
that's
you don't hate
gone.
these little
Oh,
fucks yet, but like,
7 and 9, funny.
they'll
age.
Yeah,
still
no,
they'll talk
they're
as
the
much
best.
shit.
Yeah.
But
they'll rip you. You'll probably have a tough time, mate. That's funny. Do they know who you are?
They do. Like,
That's
one of
gold.
the things that I made as soon as I started at the school that I'm at right now is off the rip, just being like, all right, I'm in radio, I make music. Because if you hold that back from them, when they finally discover your TikTok
Oh, it's
account or your
game over.
Instagram, then they're like, sir, you're holding something. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not. But if I'm just like, yep, I'm on TikTok, yep, I'm on Instagram, I'm not going to follow you back. But my content's there. You can find my stuff on YouTube. You can find my stuff on Spotify. And it makes the kids go like, oh, okay. Like, he's open with us. He's not feeling like he's hiding something from us and we're discovering it. And it's like, ooh, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Because then, so like a kid will walk past me like, hey, sir, I see your TikTok. I'm like, yep, cool. And it's like, oh, cool. Yeah,
Sort of
like
diffuses it before there is
Exactly.
anything. Yeah.
So the kid's not like, I'm like, yeah, my TikTok's not that interesting. It's just clips from my podcast. Like, it's not like I'm, doing any dances around there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
it makes the kids feel more
Are you
comfortable.
hiding an OnlyFans on there somewhere? They can
I'm not. So, yeah, no, it definitely diffuses it and makes the kids feel more comfortable to be like, hey, sir, come do this.
Yeah.
Come do this TikTok with me. Or, hey,
That's
sir,
dope.
what's your favorite song? Or, etc. And, sharing that stuff with them
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than, again, feeling like I'm hiding something.
100%.
So, yeah, but it's fun. It's chill. But, I've said this from the jumps, from when I've gotten into teaching. Teaching is a solid plan B. Teaching is my solid plan B. It's a consistent job. I can go anywhere in the world, teach, and, it's fun. But I do see it as a means to an end. But, yeah, for the meantime, again, like I said, it's a consistent job, but it's only the, what I call the... my Clark Kent to my Superman.
I
And then
like
as
it.
soon as I clock out, I go to prepping.
What
I go
subject is it?
Music. I'm a music teacher. Yeah, it's very underwhelming. A lot of people are like, "Ooh, what subject?" It's like, no, I don't do science.
No,
I
I'm
do-
just
Yeah.
surprised you had to ask.
yeah, it's just music. So yeah, no. As soon as I clock out, I go straight to the studio, or I go home. I go prep. I go schedule interviews for as soon as I get home.
So like, what time do you finish work?
2:30, and then I'll drive back. I work in Mount Druitt. I live in Campbelltown, so
Does
I'll drive.
school finish for them at 2:30?
Mhm.
Oh, bro, what were we doing?
We were getting ripped.
3:15. No,
3:40.
3:40.
Bro, we
And
finished at
2 days a week, we'd have to
Oh.
finish at 5 because we have compulsory sport after school.
Or like cadets or something.
But
like
we
that.
have the longest school day in like New South Wales. Our school.
Okay,
had.
that makes
we used to
sense.
get
Yeah.
ripped. It was actually bad.
That's whack.
It-
Two, three.
It sucked.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was rough.
You
As.
should sue.
This is all the time I could spend on
Yeah,
music, and
facts.
this is what I'm suing. This is
I-
how much I charge per hour now.
Emotional distress.
Emotional damage. So you
Oh.
finish at 2:30.
Yep.
And then like, what's the rest of your day look like?
And then pretty much like between 2:30 to like 3:34 is like travel, because I'd either be heading to my studio in Marrickville,
Yeah.
shout out to Offbeat Collective, or I'd just go home.
Yeah.
And then reset, or I'd go into the radio, ABC, in Ultimo, and and then just whatever is next on my schedule.
Yeah.
So,
You just
say-
plan like based on priority.
Yeah, exactly. So say tomorrow, I think tomorrow is a perfect example of just a stacked day that I'm looking forward to, but I'm not looking forward to. It's so I'll wake up at 6, go to work. School starts at 8:30, goes to 2:30, and then I will leave there. I'll probably head to the ABC because I have Triple J late nights tomorrow. But before that, Complex hit me up earlier today and was like, "Yo, Snoop Dogg's got a launch party. Can you help us like shoot some content
No.
for that?" So by
way.
now the content's probably out a little bit. And yeah, so now I'll go to Cliff Dive from like 7 to 10.
Is this
help-
tomorrow?
Yep, tomorrow.
It is at Cliff Dive. That was true.
Yeah.
And Snoop's
You know-
going to be there?
No, well, I mean, you never know. Snoop just be popping up places. But I highly doubt it.
Bro.
But there's like a 20% chance that Snoop
That's
just
pretty
would
good.
arrive.
Sick.
So I'm just going there, just interviewing. "Oh, what do you think of the album? Blah 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 blah, and then and then go. Hopefully by then I'll prepped my podcast. I'll prepped my radio. Go straight back to the ABC. Again, finish off my preparation. 11 p.m. Boom, show goes from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Finish up. Go back home 3 a.m. and then I got to get up at 6 for work again the next day.
Fuck. How many days a week do you
5 days. Oh wait, did I do?
do you get like that little sleep?
Yeah.
Or is that like a one-off
That's
thing?
It's a once a week
thing?
type situation.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be occasionally where it's like yesterday where I get called in to fill in for someone. So
Yeah.
my last scheduled shift was Sunday, and then Tuesday was I got called in, but then Thursday is my next actual shift. So
Yeah.
it's been like on, off, on, off, on. Has
that's
been
tough.
this past like a week, over the week. So yeah,
That's tough.
there was one day I did 3 in a row. That was
When was that?
like a month ago. I did 3 episodes in a row. Ooh, that was tough.
bro.
I was like, please don't ask me to do a month in a row. I'm gonna say yes.
You be there presenting like falling asleep, like
Yeah, I'm
behind
like-
the microphone, just dying.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the third one was the best one. I was
It
like,
usually happens like that.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. And then I'm like an hour in, I'm like, yo, I don't know where this energy came
I'm
from.
on.
I'm
Yeah.
locked in.
And then I'm sure you just crashed. straight
Yeah,
after.
I think I took the next day off. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
I can't go
No,
to
don't
school
blame you.
today. So yeah, but so it could be that, or I could, like I said, I could go leave work 2:30, go to the studio, and then schedule an interview, a Rouge Room episode. I might schedule a session with someone, or and then the occasional time I just am like, all right, let me try and set days where I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just admin at home, just doing, regular house work and chilling,
Yeah.
catching up on shows, blah, blah, blah. So it's not like I'm just out here working 24/7. No, I definitely gotta
You
have
gotta
those breaks.
relax as well.
No, that's awesome. The balance, especially like the way you schedule in your balance time,
Yeah.
is very important. I feel. Look, hearing everything, I sort of want to go back to the roots of Rue and
Yeah.
just figure out like, how did you get to sort of where we are today? That
For
was.
sure.
It's incredible that you have such a diverse portfolio of work, and I'm just curious how it sort of all interlinks in some way.
For
So
sure.
how did it all happen? When did you start? When did you fall in love with?
How far would you like to go back? Because that is kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, like pretty far.
Like-
I'm genuinely very curious.
All right, let me start at the beginning. So
I was born.
kindergarten, pretty much.
In the beginning, that was the word. The word was that.
Too far.
So kindergarten, I started playing violin. Year 3, I started playing trumpet. Year 7, I got into hip hop. Started rapping, put out my first song in 2013. So I was like year 9, 10. Then 2018, I was studying in North Carolina through Western Sydney. That's when I kind of switched from my cheesy high school alias into Ru, aka the Culture Black Kid. And
Wait, what was your cheesy high
it was
school
the
alias?
Control.
The Control.
Yep,
I don't mind that though.
it's all right. You know, looking
Pretty
back,
good. Pretty good for
it's
you.
not
I'm
bad.
not gonna lie.
It's not bad. So yeah, the Control into Ru, something a little more personal, and then had the AKA the Cultured Black Kid, which I had, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I just liked that name and how the duality of the cultured, and then Black Kid kind of plays, and you know, I play violin, but you know, I love hip hop, and you know, again, the complexity of being black in the world, and you know, black people not being a monolith, and you know, all that stuff that I has, you know, driven me a lot of my, you know, decisions and stuff like that in my content and music and stuff like that. You can hear it in the music. If you listen to my song Worth with Shell,
Bloody
like
banger.
I thank you. Then, you know, I'm detailing all the, like, my reflection on my high school time, you know, being, you know, black in, you know, Southwest Sydney and blah, blah, blah. So, switch to Ru, the Culture Black Kid, in 2018, come back to Australia 2019, and then that's kind of where I started to get into the scene a little bit more. 2020, me and my best friend Aswad, we started a podcast with another one of our friends, Rennie, and this other girl who we knew called Lolly, and that's what started the Midnight Snack podcast. Which ran for like 2 years, from like 2020 to 2022, like late 2022, which pretty much started like I knew I always wanted to do content. I love journalism, but I didn't study that. But I knew that I love the scene. I love music. I wanted to talk about it in some way. So this was like a nice way to kind of kick that off.
Yeah.
And, you know, had the podcast, and then late 2022, early 2023, you know, we went on a bit of a hiatus. You know, Lolly was having some, you know, she was doing personal stuff. She was doing her own thing. And we all were kind of just discussing how we're going to move forward with the podcast. And in the meantime, I was like, you know what? I don't want to kind of wait around. I want to do some stuff myself. I have my own thoughts that I really want to put on. And that's when I started doing my reviews, which is when I set up a tripod with my phone on it and then just talk to the camera. This is what I think of the artists in the scenes, music. And from there, top of 2023, that's kind of really the genesis that leads to the Ru Culture Black Kid that you're talking to now. So, you know, my music journey is that, but when it comes to content and all that stuff, that really started top of 2023, building the connections, pretty much doing 5 reviews every single week. Then the playlist that I started.
Was that short form, or longer form? So short form content.
Yeah, all short form. But the thing that helped me, you know, get a whole bunch of, you know, a lot more eyes on me is, again, the consistency that I did it at, as well as just atting people. Just like, yep, I reviewed your content. Yep, I reviewed your music. As well as trying to be as honest as I can without being a dick about
I struggle with that
their craft.
sometimes.
100%. Finding that line. You know, it hasn't been perfect, and, you know, but for the most part, I've had a great reception from people being like, yo, I'm so glad that you kept it real on your review.
Yeah,
You
that's
told me what
dumb.
you didn't like, because so many people just say, I love this.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you say review, do you mean just through Unearthed, or do you mean the video? Reviews?
The video. So top of 2023 was also when I started at Unearthed.
Yeah.
and started doing radio as well. Radio was never really the goal. I was actually at one of my old schools, and I was walking to the staff center after school with one of the other people in my faculty, and I got a message from Tommy Faith on Instagram, who's the head honcho at Unearthed, and he's like, "Hey, we're looking for new presenters for Tops. Would you be interested?"
So he just reached out to you.
Yeah,
he just
on
saw your
Instagram.
stuff
That's
on Instagram,
awesome.
and that was
Yeah,
it.
he saw a clip from the
through the
Midnight Snack
reviews?
podcast.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't.
okay.
It wasn't even on my content. I hadn't even started making my reviews yet. My
Oh,
personal
wow.
reviews. He saw a clip. I was talking about a Zia Dala song, and he was like, "Yo, I love this content. I love what you're doing. Would you like to be a radio presenter on our show, Tops, which is like the Unearthed afternoon show?" And I was like, "I'm honored. Like, let me think about this because I'd never thought about radio." And I'm like, "Should I? Shouldn't I?" And then my friend Aswad's like, "Bro, if you don't take this, you're an idiot. Like, come on." So 2023 started my radio journey as well. And yeah, those two things pretty much starting at the same time, radio and, the Cultured Black Kid brand that you know today kind of worked in tandem and has really helped, again, elevate like my knowledge of the scene, the people who are in the scene, make connections that is like crazy, and leads me to then now listing off all those crazy interviews and people who I now interact with, brands that I now interact with, companies, and blah 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 blah. So and again, and I know that it's only just the beginning. I'm like, I know I'm only scratching the surface. So yeah, I guess hopefully that's
awesome.
That's the
Yeah,
journey.
that was a great answer.
Yeah.
Did you have a follow up?
No, that
I
He
mean,
was,
like, that
he
was
was
just-
enthralled.
To be honest, because I don't like that was just like, wow, like fuck, what a way. And you're right, like it's the start.
Yeah.
What a way to kick off the journey.
For sure.
Wow.
For sure.
Was there ever a time where someone like was quite angry with the review?
There was. I'm not going to name names.
No names, but were
No,
they
definitely not
were they
names.
pretty abusive? Or
It
no,
wasn't
they were alright?
abusive. It was very like they were angry at me. They they curved me at the show, and then their friend came up to me. But we talked about it. I explained my
Yeah.
position. They explained their position. We're all cool now.
Yeah.
It's literally no drama. That was like over a year ago, so
Okay.
that was no problems. And then I had another friend at that same event who was like, man, you should have like told me these thoughts in person before you like reviewed it. And I'm like, yeah, you may be right. And that next day I sat down in my studio. I'm like, I need to like reflect on how I do my reviews. So then that led me to now when I discuss anything, I have a pros column and I have a cons column, because then at least if I'm going to critique something, let me at least praise something first.
Yeah.
Let me at least say, yo, you are coming off a dope run. Yo, you're, I am a huge fan of, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Before I come like, unfortunately, I wasn't the biggest fan of, your lyrics on this or da, 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 da. But in general, I'm always like, if there are any artists who have followed my content or, have got a review from me, haven't gotten a review from me, period, I'm a fan of anyone, of everyone, no matter what. I will always be a fan, no matter if I don't like every single song you do.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to hear what is next, because I just love music and I love the scene and I want everyone to win. And my critiques aren't coming of a place from hate. That's why I'm never like, this sucks, this is trash. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure how I felt about this. Unfortunately, that was not for me. But let me know what you think, because other people have different opinions. My opinion is just one person. Focus on all the other people who love the track, if they do love the track. So like, maybe I don't like it, but that's fine. I'm one person.
Yeah.
If you have if you have 99 other people who love the track, then listen to them. Don't listen to me. So yeah, and I'll be waiting in line to press play on the next track that you put out.
So good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the projects that you've dropped this year? So the single, Spilled Beans.
Yep.
I also want to hear about your experience recording Worth
Yes, of course.
as well.
Yep.
As well as the entire EP.
Yes.
Just going chronological
Yep.
order of like the projects that you've done this year, what it's been like, who you've worked with. Have you
Yeah.
had any crazy experiences like working with like a big producer or something? How'd you land it? Like just
For sure.
let us know.
So I guess this all starts like late last year. A El Fresh the Lion hits me up, and he is like, "Yo, I would love for you to be a part of the Conscious program," which is a program that runs out of Campbelltown Arts Centre. It pretty much commissions Western Sydney artists to make music. You know, past Conscious alumni include Becca Hatch, A Girl, Jess Jade. You know, amazing rappers and artists in the scene. Patience, you know, Slim Set, crazy. So it was an absolute honor to be, you know, hit up by, again, also someone who I've looked up to and listened to El Fresh's music growing up, going to high school. So I'm like, yo, like that's so appreciative. Start the program alongside myself, Annalise, Zion Garcia, and Gemma Ilana. And hopefully that's not going to pick up.
Should be all right.
Yeah, no,
It should be all right.
And Gemma Ilana, and basically I got put in the studio with Beats with Chef guys. Shout out to Barry, shout out to Chef, Uzma. And that's when we started the journey with Worth. I knew that I wanted to do something where I talked about my identity. I'd been thinking about it for a minute, and I was like, I think this is a great place to kind of put out this track. Like, I'm a huge Joey Badass fan. You can hear it through that song. A huge Kendrick fan as well. It's like a merging of those two worlds. I pretty much gave them the references, and then they're like, all right, bet, let's cook. Got to my first session with them, and yeah, they nailed it. They nailed it on the instrumental.
So good.
I knew I wanted to play some violin on it, so that's what I did. And then I also knew that I wanted to kind of do a little bit of singing on the hook, but I'm not the best singer. I'll hold a tune. So naturally, I'm like, yo, Shell, the best R&B singer
Come on.
in the scene.
Come on.
Let's run it back. Let's run it back. So got Shell on the hook. And yeah, I thought it was perfect as well, knowing her journey, identity, and, you know, we've always had so many conversations about blackness and, you know, our place within the scene and, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, she wrote the hook, she recorded it, and it just went so good from there. Shot a video for it, and yeah, that's pretty much how Worth went. Then,
Sorry,
yes,
I just want to
if
ask
you
on
want to
that.
hold on, Worth, yeah.
When you say you got put in the studio with the boys,
Yep.
who was it that got you in touch
Conscious.
with them?
Yeah, El Fresh.
Right.
The Conscious program.
Right.
So we had, between the four of us, it was between Beats with Chef and Chelsea Warner.
Yeah.
Another amazing producer in the scene.
And they didn't want to jump on the track with you. They were just like, here, like, just jump in the studio.
As in the...
On Worth.
As in who? Though? Oh, like the Beats with...
Anyone from Conscious.
So that was my choice of who I wanted to have on the song or not have on the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Conscious were like, all right, Annalise and Rue, you're going to work with Beats with Chef. Zion and Gemma, you're working with Chelsea, which worked out because Chelsea was already working on Gemma's EP that's now out, like the whole EP. So naturally, it made sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they were like, "Yep, let's schedule the sessions. You got 2 sessions to work on this song."
Yeah.
With the Beats with Chef guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much went from there. And then I chose to put Shell on the track. So it wasn't they were like, all right, you have to write about this, you have to put this person on the track. It's like you work on what you want. This is just who you're working with, and you go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Sweet.
that makes sense.
We've got Michelle on the podcast next week.
Yeah. So I'm sure if she can tell her side of the
Yeah.
she can
I'm
tell her
excited.
side of the story
I'm excited to hear about it.
to jump on Worth as well. But no, I think we're both really happy with how that ended up going, and turning out.
Are we going to tell Nick how you know Michelle, or are we going to keep it a secret until after the pod?
We can keep it a secret.
All right, I'll keep it a
We can
secret
keep
until
it a
after.
secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, and then so that's Worth.
Yeah.
Why is it a secret? You can't do this.
I think he just doesn't want to say it on camera, but we'll tell you afterwards.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, I thought it was going to be like we'll reveal it like
No.
right now.
I thought
but-
it was like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, we're dating.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I did. I was like,
But I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Like walking in, and then I was like, how do you know Michelle? And he's like, Oh,
With
she's my
any-
partner, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Like, this was a bit of like a mind fuck because I know you guys through completely separate avenues. Well, I guess like I just kind of reached out to you.
Yeah.
So, like we just follow each other on Instagram,
Exactly.
and I was just like, you know,
You're
like,
like,
I'd love to have Rue on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across Worth,
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
and I was
on the
just
track.
like, I don't think I ever thought to message you when I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like obviously, I think I probably actually I don't know whose Instagram I would have seen it on first. Yours or
Probably
Michelle's.
mine. It was probably mine.
Either or. I mean, yeah, probably. But then like later down the line, I was like, oh, like would love to reach out, and then I was like, you know, I'm gonna compliment him on this track and stuff, and then this, and I'm just like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's just crazy. Like, what a small world.
No, for sure. For sure. So
We
yeah.
should have had Shell on for the rapid fire.
She's like, I know, have a part two. She just should have done it joint. If we knew, it would have been funny as it'd just be a thing, like how we had Tiff and Dom.
we've had couples on before, so
True.
like out of chance as well.
Yeah.
so.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
Tiffany when she came on a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
because I know she's been on your podcast as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Nick happened to know
Right.
her boyfriend
Wow.
and has known him for like quite a while.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he's like, oh, like I'm coming through, like I'll pick you up or whatever. Like, and Nick's like, tell him to come upstairs and say hello to me. Like, tell him to get his ass up here. And then it ended up just being like such a funny extra hour of the pod where we just
That's
like
so funny.
these guys just had like this dynamic because
Yeah.
they've known each other for so long. It was just so
Yeah,
funny.
For sure.
All right,
But
so
yeah.
that's Worth.
Yep.
Honestly, one of my favorite tracks.
Appreciate that.
Like
For sure.
out of Sydney this year. Like seriously, fucking fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was next? What came after?
After Worth, pretty much me and Aztec Flow, shout out to Aztec, locked in on our project Southern Jewels, which is now out on all streaming platforms. Make sure you go check it out. And yeah, we had been talking about that for also like a year and a bit, almost low-key since we met, like late 2022. And we knew that we, wanted to work on something. We'd worked on a couple tracks here and there. And after Worth, it's like, all right, let's start ramping up and being a bit more specific about what we want to do. So we just keep working on a whole bunch of stuff. He's also a videographer, a producer. So he was filming for other stuff. I had my Rouge Room podcast I was working on. So, we had our other ventures.
Yep.
And then, occasionally we'd be like, all right, let's work on some Southern Jewels stuff. And then, break away, come back Southern Jewels. And then, the past half of this year or past few months, we've been like, all right, let's like really lock in. Let's knock out the videos. Let's, get this music mixed and, finally get it out. And yeah, it's been a long journey, but we're so thankful that it's out. It's just fun. It's just a fun 4 tracks.
Yeah.
Super boppy, like if you love grimy Southern hip hop, like again, anything Memphis, anything Houston, anything New Orleans, then you will love it. If you love some throwbacks, some Lil Wayne, some 3 6 Mafia, Manny Fresh, anything like that, then you will definitely love the project. And yeah, it was just a fun little side project to work on in my, my journey. It's not, because around that time I'm also, working on my solo project.
Yeah.
And which is completely different to that. Very soulful, very, early J. Cole, early Kanye-esque type vibes, very personal, about identity and stuff like that. Not worth, well, actually, no, that's incorrect. It's still worth personal.
I'll say Worth.
It's
is
worth
about
personal.
that, yeah.
But Southern Jewels is just, me just talking shit. Just talking cash and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
Almost like it's like a character study, low key. Because you listen to what I'm saying. I'm not. The
it's
way I
wild.
talk on those lyrics
It's wild. Like
is
especially on Spill the Beans.
is
It's just wild.
don't approach me thinking that I'm like that person. I am completely no.
Like to be fair, I think your verse is probably the most conscious
Of that.
out of-
For sure.
out of all the artists on there. Because how many artists are on there? There's like
On Spill the Beans?
4 of yeah.
Yeah, 4. So me, Aztec, shout out to DeAndre, shout out to Wanda, who's also on the hook as
Yeah,
well.
Like theirs are just like
Yeah.
going for the
For
throat.
sure. And, you know, that's why I love the track.
It's crazy.
It's like an X-Men uncanny, like, combination of just people on one track that's, like, you don't expect, but it's just fun.
Was that the most fun track to do for you? What was your favorite track to make off the EP?
Favorite track to make was probably Spill the Beans.
Yeah.
Just because, like all the experiences of making them were pretty similar. It was, you know, Aztec would be there, I'd be writing it, and it was just fun to see how they'd come out. Maybe Southern Jewels was also super fun to, like, see it go from the beat into the idea, like, so quickly. And then, you know, see how that idea then turned into, you know, something more. But Spill the Beans was just so fun to be like, let's just be like, yo, this person, DeAndre, jump on. And just see how we all just came together. And again, are so different in our individual styles, but then how we all just formed on this one track and just made a banger.
Who did the beat?
Aztec. He made all the beats for the whole project.
Far out.
Yeah.
And how was it? How was it working with Aztec compared to like a Chef or a Barry? And I'm sure Nick will find this pretty interesting as well, because I've never worked personally with Chef or Barry, but Nick has.
Yeah, for sure. So, so with Chef and Barry, they are very much like when we rocked up to the session, and you know, the caveat is that we had only 2 sessions to work on it. We had 16 hours. That was it. It was a lot of time. After that,
It's done.
it's done. Like, it's not that we can't work on it, but it's like you kind of based on the what we've been allocated, we only have 2, which is cool because, you know, that's real
Pressure's
music
on,
industry.
yeah.
You know, people think that, you know, artists just be coming in and just like, yeah, let's just work on music. But like, no, that's a legitimate job. If you don't churn out the music before the due date and the album release, and, you know, labels get mad and brands get mad, and no. So it was definitely a caveat of, you know, Chef and Barry had the beat already made. But in comparison to me and Tech, where it's just like, we just come in, all right, we need to make something. And we make it on the spot. And, you know, okay, maybe that idea, okay, this is a cool idea. Let's try and see if we can flesh it out a little bit more. Let's try another one. But I think they're both very clinical in the way that they produce in their different styles. I think it's super cool to see how they get different creativity, like different versions of creativity out of me. So when it came to Chef and Barry, it was like, I knew that I wanted to sing, and seeing how when Shell wrote that hook for Worth, then getting in the studio, recording it, and then Chef being like, all right, can you try this? All right, what about this harmony? All right, what about this harmony?
This is exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, I said to him yesterday, I said, it's a different ball game. Like, when you have people specifically for recording, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you have this idea in your head, and you know that vocally you can sort of execute it. And I myself had been recording myself for like 8 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I can't imagine it'll be that much different. It's so much different.
For sure.
And like the harmony thing and the way that Chef and Barry like do this, add this, and different ball game.
They study it. They know how to make a hit. They know how to make something that's catchy. So like that definitely helped with it, where I don't think melody first. I think bars first. I suck at writing melodies. So having someone in the room who can, I mean, Shell had already written did she write the melody? Did she write the lyrics? I think she wrote the melody as well. But having someone like Chef come in and take it to another level really helped. So that's them. But Tech, what I love about Tech's artistry is his ability to, his inflections, his way he delivers stuff. It's very dramatic in a Kendrick Lamar-esque style, where he's finding different voices and all that stuff. And, you know, taking note of that to then be like, okay, let me do my character study and how I want to approach this persona that I'm bringing to Southern Jewels. So, yeah, I think those were both the things. So they're both very clinical, but in their very specific ways, and how it affected me. was cool. Was super cool to take note of, and then what I'll take into my own art, you know, in the future. So yeah.
Have you ever tried, like, because me and Nick have like experimented with like quite a few ways of writing songs now. Like we've worked quite a lot together, and before I feel like both of us were like extremely lyric based.
Yeah.
Which is probably like the way you prefer to write,
sure.
because like definitely the way that I prefer to write. Like you sit down in front of the paper and you write.
Yeah.
But Nick kind of introduced me to the idea of like just jumping in front of the mic, like closing your eyes and just like freestyling and just like getting the vibe out first and worrying about the lyrics later. Have you ever tried, bro?
Never.
Like,
will I do it? No.
Really?
I no.
Oh, why?
I suck at freestyling.
Seriously, do it.
I'm very.
No, I'm with you.
I'm very maybe melodies. Maybe I'll freestyle melodies, but lyrics.
Oh no, not you know, it's not even lyrics. Like
Yeah.
you literally, like when I say freestyle, like Nick's so good at it. Like sometimes that lyrics come out here and there, but like for the most part, it's just like you're looking for the melody. You're looking for the vibe first. So it could just be and like nothing.
sure.
There's no words or anything, and then like you'll find that. I feel like you're better to speak on this, to be honest.
I mean, sometimes it's words. Like we were in Canberra for a video shoot.
Cool, yeah.
And
with these boys actually.
and then
true.
luckily
It's
Raph
fucked
just carries like a little portable setup
Yeah.
around. No, I
I'm
think
a
this time
fucking
we had like I was recording on his iPhone, and then he had the beat playing out of his speaker, and then sometimes you just go on like a generational run, and you just like it's like once in a blue moon you get words out, like you're like. Yeah, like it's freakish, but then 9 times out of 10 you're sitting there and you're like, it's just melody based.
For sure.
But I feel like sometimes when you're not worried about the lyrics, you can gain and sort of like better melodies because you're not so stressed about either fitting in syllables or having to conform certain words to certain parts of the song. It's sort of like you can just get an amazing melody out of this. And you can go like 10 at a time and pick your favorite one.
For sure.
You're almost comping melodies in a sense, and then you fit the lyrics based on the melody.
For sure.
But obviously, like, in saying that, I don't know, lately I've gotten back to writing, to be completely fair. I've gotten back to pen and paper, like sitting there playing the beat and writing.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, each to their own. It's whatever works for specific people.
For sure.
Like, what's your process from, you know, point 0 to point 100?
Yeah, it's pretty standard with the. I like having the beat first. I do like having the beat first. I think there is one song where I wrote on my upcoming EP where I wrote the lyrics first and then just let the beat form around it, which then led to a very interesting flow that I approached.
No way.
And it was so cool.
So you wrote what, the entire song or like a verse?
Like a verse.
And then you sat down and you were like, now I have to figure out the beat.
Yep.
Afterwards. Fuck,
Yeah.
I cannot
And
imagine
it led to
doing
a super interesting flow that that I love. And it's also it's a super personal joint. And it just it leads to a very interesting story and storytelling way. It's the reason why I love my song Greensboro 18 from my Blackish project. Because the way I approached that song was like, I'm not even rapping. I just want to speak. Like, I'm just conversing. I'm just telling you the story.
Yeah.
And it just happens that I'm being somewhat rhythmic and I'm rhyming my words. So, but for the most part, it's I go into a session with the producer, or they'll send me a beat. I'll write to the beat, or I'll write in the session to the beat. And then I don't know, it's interesting nowadays because it's not like I take much music home, because majority of what I work on in my off time or in my extracurricular non high school work time is like interview stuff. It's writing, it's prepping, hitting up people to do, it's editing videos, it's, listening to all my music homework of all the releases that come out during a week and, doing that. So, but I do want to get more into just writing for the sake of writing, like taking time where I just throw my phone across the room for 6 hours and don't even think about it, and just do something that's not on that, because I'm in my phone 24/7 because I need to,
Yeah, of course.
and I need to stay consistent. I'm too deep in now to
Yeah,
take a break.
honestly.
Yeah.
So taking those small moments to rest and be like, boom, and then I can let my mind just focus on that and just even if it's not lyrics, again, getting at thoughts, quote unquote journaling or something like that, and still something that I need to work on. But no, I just interviewed Kian and he talked about that a lot in his conversation. I'm like, yeah, that's really good. Where you just sit down, you just write every single day. Just find something to write about, no matter what. If it's lyrics, no matter if it's just notes, ideas, what's been happening in your day. Because if you sit down and force that, then nothing good's going to come out. But if you actually live, then the content's going to come from all the experiences and stuff like that. So,
Nick and I read a book called The Artist's Way by, do you remember her name?
Julia Cameron.
That's the one, by Julia Cameron.
Yep.
And she gets everyone that, like, it's more of an activity book or like a textbook.
Yep.
Thank you for getting it for me, by the way. It's pretty helpful. It
Great
talks about like the first mission or like challenge that you have to do is for the entirety of the journey of the book, which goes for like 12 weeks if you
stick to it.
if you take it step by step, and if you speed run it, like sure, like it take you less, but like if you do it like the recommended week
Like
by
properly,
week, it's 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And she goes like, in the morning you wake up, like you don't touch anything, you can't touch your phone, nothing, like just in that state where you're most in that dreamlike headspace, most connected to God, most connected to
Between your conscious and
whatever.
subconscious.
For sure.
you just sit and you write for 3 pages, and like sometimes you'll start and it'll be like, I don't know what to write, but like you just don't stop. It's just like, I'm really stuck, I hate these stupid pages, this is a fucking shit exercise, I can't believe I'm doing this, it's been 6 weeks now, what the fuck. And then like I usually find like by like page 2.5, like into 3, it's just like a gateway unlocks and you just like start writing like just like like it's not every day, but like there are most days where it's like it just unlocks and you just like oh my gosh, like things just start flowing out of you. Like I completely back it. To be honest, I haven't been doing it as much, and if I do, like it's 1 page, but like that 3 pages specifically is like a bit of a hack. Like if you were like considering, oh, should I like get into the reflecting and stuff, bro?
Oh, for sure.
100%. 100%.
It's definitely, again, and I feel like it will lead to even more creativity. Like my mind is always thinking of new ideas. Like I got so many show ideas, I got so many song ideas that's just in there, but it's even a case, I work so hard, but to me, I'm like, I could do more. I'm always in that, what's next? What's next? What can I do more? But still taking that break to be like, reflect. All right, let's break it down, all that stuff.
It's hard. It's hard when you're an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like you're always looking for the next thing. Like me and Nick are always on the run.
Yeah.
It feels like it doesn't stop.
Too many ideas to like create.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, that's such a good idea. And then like the ideas keep on popping up in my head and I'm like, to genuinely create every single idea that comes to mind, which you almost feel obligated to do as a creative person. You're almost like, I have this idea, therefore it needs to come to fruition. And then I'm like, if I was to do this, I would have to not only quit my full-time job, but I would also have to gain more hours in a day because there's so many ideas that you just want to create.
Stop eating.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm going to stop eating, stop sleeping. Like it just,
It never stops.
everything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it sort of eats away at you. I feel like, I'm sure you would feel the same sometimes. You're like, I wish I just had the facilities or just something
the
to
money, the delegation. That's one of my goals in coming into the next years. Just like delegating, finding people who can, and like finding a graphic designer. If any graphic designers, hit me up.
This is what this is for. Get people in touch. Like we're trying to build the community. So Rue needs a graphic designer. If you see this by any chance, and you're any good, even if you're not good and you want to give it a shot, like please reach out, leave a comment, do whatever.
Yes, please, because I just need someone consistent that can, make my playlist updates look nicer.
Yeah.
So it's not, I'm just like, okay, what video on my phone do I have that's over 13 seconds
Yeah.
that I could just put behind a screenshot of a Spotify
Yeah.
playlist that's like,
Yeah.
it passes. It does the job.
because you're doing everything. Like everything you're doing yourself.
Yeah.
Like I don't blame you for just fucking scrolling through the camera roll. I
Yeah.
would do the same thing. It's so tough.
For sure. And, I really want to make things presentable. That's why I look up to the pages like Take Flight, like,
Yeah.
AU Dollars,
Yeah.
they do it so nice. They have an aesthetic. And I'm like, okay, I got my general aesthetic. Maybe Rouge Room has an aesthetic. People know how I generally dress. They know my signature. I got the glasses. I'm not wearing them right now. I was worried about the glare. I'm not wearing my glasses, but I got the glasses. I got my cross. I got, however I, again, regularly dress. But... you look at Wings and Take Flight. It's like, oh, okay, you think Take Flight? It's that blue, that shade of blue. If it's AU Dollars, it's that black and yellow and that font. And, their playlist updates are done in a certain way. And, articles, blah, 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 blah. So it's like trying to be like, I need that consistency. I have a little bit of consistency, but now what's next? And how do I, again, continue to level up? But again, to bring it back to what we were talking about with journaling and writing and all that stuff, this will all come in, those moments where I just can throw my phone and just take it, clear my mind. Or attempt to clear my mind, meditate on what I've been doing, meditate on what I need to do, and just focus. So, just trying to be, again, take those ideas into future goals.
I see you wearing the cross.
Yes.
How is your faith? Well, I don't know to what extent. I'm just assuming because you're wearing the cross.
Yeah, of course. Of
But
course. I know a lot of
do you-
people wear crosses and it's just a fashion statement.
it's a
but
aesthetic.
Yeah.
But continue.
So that was a bit of a bold assumption of me to make.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm Christian. I'm active very much.
tell us a bit how it's influenced you in your life and how it influences your decisions and your music.
I mean, it's a continual journey.
Yeah.
I've been Christian since I was born, baptized, confirmed, Anglican to be specific. And it's never been a lack of faith. I've always believed in God. It's been more so my not practicality. Just being more present, being more, active with reading the Bible, with actually praying outside of a church setting or a Bible study setting, going to church consistently. And that's definitely something that has been a journey this whole year of, growing faith. And, I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. But the more that I've tried to interact with my church community and, talk with those closest to me who are also Christian and, going back and forth with conversations, thought experiments with, Bible study teachers and stuff like that, ask as many questions as well as, reflect on, say I might do something. It's like, it's not perfect. It's like, okay, but then now I'm actually being like, oh, but that Bible verse, this is what I was thinking of, rather than just me doing a wrong thing and then just moving on with my life. Me being like, and reflecting.
Yeah.
So it's been cool. It's still there's a long journey to go, but I'm thankful that, I'm mature enough and for the most part confident enough in my faith that I can start to,
Or I'll say,
correct.
just careful, don't touch. It will come out.
No,
rubbish.
for sure. That confident enough in my faith that I can, start to be a bit more verbal about it, start to be a bit more, conscious about it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, I think both me and Nick probably experienced this to a similar degree, where it's like, you want to be really verbal about it. Like, Nick and I are kind of in the same boat as you. Like, we love to take part in the extra curriculum
For sure.
activities
Yeah.
And the communities and stuff at church, because, like, the people that are there, like, they're the best people
Yeah.
that we know. Like, God bless them. They're
Yeah.
absolutely awesome, and they open up an entire other side of us that's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily music. Like, I think it's great to have the
Definitely.
balance, like you were saying.
Definitely.
But it's so hard and it shouldn't be hard,
No.
but
That's
to
just
have the
world.
confidence to like come into the music scene, which is dominated by
World.
a different set of ideas that don't always align with our faith.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how do I stand my ground without upsetting anyone? Like,
Yeah.
because the idea is not to go and like bash them over the head.
No.
With all
I-
this, like,
I
it's-
never like to be like, I don't like to be that Christian. I don't like to be like, have you read your Bible?
and you're not
Are you a
called
Christian?
to
You're
be.
not a Christian? Here is a Bible.
Yeah, we're
roll
not
without
called to
them.
be like that at all. But it's like, okay, then how are we called to be? And so,
Yeah.
okay, leading through actions. And like you said, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
So then trying to lead through your actions
Exactly.
is so bloody
But then,
hard.
feeling like you're being a hypocrite because,
Exactly.
then you might turn around and it's like, wait, you're preaching this, but then, there's so many factors and all that stuff. But, again, I think if you're being conscious about it and trying to work even slowly at just improving yourself, then, I think, and your heart, again, is in the right place and you're being loving in everything that you do, then, God will see that and, take that and into consideration and be like, yeah, like I appreciate, I'm thankful that you are, doing what you are doing.
I've heard
and,
he's pretty understanding.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. For sure. So, so it's been a journey, but I'm happy with where I'm, for the most part, with where I'm at now with my faith. At least just my consistency. I'm just glad that I've, been a lot more consistent in going to church. I'm glad that, I feel a little more comfortable to have conversations with, not everyone. I'm not just going to walk up to randoms on the street, but, again, people who I know who are, in a similar, like in the religion, in the faith with me, and, be like, oh yeah, discussing this and as well as, again, like people at my church and stuff like that. As well as, even occasional, people who I know don't believe, but, have asked me first, being like, hey, I see, you've been a little more active with this, tell me about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I like this verse.
Yeah.
You might like this verse, or,
Do you have
stuff
one
like
in
that.
your bio?
Yep.
In your Instagram bio?
Romans 3:23.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Have you found it's like seeped into your content, like besides your bio? Has it seeped into any of the content or lyrical? Like, has it influenced the music at all, or like you kind of keep them a little bit separate?
No, not literally. So the verse Romans 3:23 is, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. It's more like a reminder that we are not perfect and therefore we should keep striving to be more like God. Someone who puts it perfectly. Have you listened to, do you know Elsie Wameo?
No.
She's like a Kenyan hip hop artist from Adelaide.
Oh wow.
She's toured with like Hilltop Hoods and stuff like that, and she put out an album, one of my favorite albums of this year, called Saint Sinner. And on the final song called Thank You, it's pretty much like a very gospel-y song, and she literally talks about that, about not being perfect, and that reminds her to be, in trusting God, and it's kind of like a reality check, or it's like a humble yourself type thing. That's why I like that verse.
Yeah.
So it's less it's seeped into lyrics, kind of, if not, it hasn't, definitely not directly, but maybe indirectly. But more so it's just a general something to live by, because, I never want to come off as someone who knows it all. I never want to come off as someone who's arrogant. I never want to come off as someone who, thinks they're top shit. Like, I'm always willing to learn. I know that I'm not perfect. If someone says, yo, I didn't like your review, I'm like, cool. Like, tell me what
fuck
you
yourself.
Yeah. Tell me what I did. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I said wrong. Like, what did I misunderstand about your music? What did I? What do you disagree with? because I'm easy with that conversation. Like I never want to, be like, no, you're wrong. Your art is wrong. It's your art. You made it the way you made it. Those reasons why you did that, or the reason why you chose to do this piece of content or this podcast or this interview or blah blah blah. The way you wanted to do it. Like, I'm not coming in here and being like, nah, this color, I don't like this color scheme. I'm not the biggest fan of how you said.
Are you serious? I asked you before if you like the purple.
Green is my favorite color. These two are literally my two favorite colors.
Oh, perfect.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was Rex. He killed it.
But yeah, no, I'm not coming in like, I don't like the space. So yeah, no. I'm like, yeah, this is fire. Yeah. And showing love and, again, leading with that and not I guess I'm kind of diverting from what the verse is about, but you kind of get me. It's like, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, no one's perfect.
Yeah.
So who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Who am I to criticize? Just, lead with love and, from there it will allow me to be closer to Christ and, again, I can't be perfect, but, try and be as close as you can, which is what we're all, in our faith is trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. That was
What a great
That
answer.
was a fantastic answer.
Yeah.
All right. You did say we have to be conscious of time.
Mm-hmm. 26.
26. Do you want to discuss anything else before we jump into rapids?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to find out a bit about sort of like your associations with the brands, how that's been working with like just much bigger companies, and was it a shock, or was it something different, and you're like, okay, this is definitely a step up? What were those awe-inspiring moments, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I'm super grateful. Again, shout out to Complex, shout out to Converse. I don't think I was shocked, but that's not because I'm like, I deserve this, because I never deserve anything. As soon as you start feeling like you deserve something, then it's a wrap. You're gonna be humbled mad quick. But I know the effort that I put into things, so I know that I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fitting of where I'm at. And again, I'm super grateful. I'm always grateful. I'll be forever excited from now, however long I work with either of those brands or future brands. Every time they hit me up, I'm like, oh, cool, yes, another one, because you never know when's the last one. I could finish a piece of content and I'm like, okay, yep, we're done, move on. I can go through my Converse All Stars program, and then at the end of the year, it's like, okay, cool, you got your, you've done all what you haven't done what
See you
you
later.
Yeah, exactly. Which I know that's not how those two companies work. But just in general, as an example.
Yeah.
So I just cherish every time I'm in that space, and again, try and use that to build and make more relationships with other companies, other stations, other brands, other people who work for brands and stuff like that, because you never know who's going to be who. You never know who you're going to run into 2 years later and be like, yo, we should work on something.
Yeah.
You never know, you never know who's looking. Social media is a huge place. You never know who's going to pass across your timeline. So like, even if they see it once, they might just take note of you. And then again, like I said, 2 years later, be like, remember Rue? I think it'll be perfect for this piece of content that we just thought of a week ago. Let's see what he's doing. Boom. Things line up. Now I got an even bigger show. Now I got my own show. Now I got, now I got a platform to then bring people with me and uplift who I think and da-da-da-da. So, in short, I'm super grateful. Definitely don't take any of my relationships with brands or, people who work for brands for granted. And I'll always come into the room and be like, I want to give my 110%. And if I notice that I'm slacking off, I'm going to have conversations with myself and be like, bro, not many people get this opportunity. Step it up.
That's a good level of self-awareness to have.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Do you have... Actually, I'm not going to ask it like that. Did you find that a lot of the companies just approached you, or did you see it was kind of like through more Triple J, or like was it just Instagram? Was there managers involved? Like
Yeah. So, like I said, Triple J on Earth, Tommy just hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah.
That was pretty chill. On Complex, me and Rachel are in a group chat that I started with Ben Madden, another amazing journalist out of Melbourne. And we pretty much just added as many media journos and, you know, people in the media space to that group chat. And then she saw what I was doing on there. And pretty much she hit me up like earlier in the year and was like, I'd love you for this. And then I was like, yep, keep me posted. And then she was like, I'm not sure the content's coming through. I'm like, okay, no worries. You know, keep me in mind. I'm here. So I just went about. And then like a few months later,
you played it
she's
cool.
like, yeah, I'm like, oh, damn it. But then I was like, that's all right. You know, she said, you know, she loves the content. She'd love to work in the future. I'm like, okay, cool. That's all right. The future will come. Stay patient. Kept working on Rue's room. Kept doing blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then she hit me up like later on. Yo, we got the green light. Let's do it. Which then turned into locals only.
Hell yeah.
And then that's led me to now, you know, helping Complex. I shot, they sent me to the Travis Scott show like a month ago to like
so
film
sick.
the weekend coming out, which is like it's so funny, that story where it's like I'm literally in class, 5th period, final period of the day. One of my year 7s is like, I'm going to the Travis Scott show tonight. Big Travis Scott fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, amazing. You know, hope you enjoy yourself. And then I'm driving home from work. I'm ready. I'm getting ready for like the most chill evening. I'm like, I want to do nothing tonight. I want to go home, watch shows, and just relax.
Oh, what an inconvenience these guys are.
I know.
Are you serious?
They're like, yo, you want to go to the Travis Scott show for free? And I'm like,
no one's sleep.
I was genuinely considering it. I was
No way.
I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And I told him, I was like, as long as I'm not in the mosh pit, I'll go. Because
Making demands. I like it.
I'm like, no, not in the mosh pit. I brought my friend. Got an extra ticket.
Hell yeah.
Shot the weekend coming out.
So
Now
sick.
it's like, and the weekend posted that video on his Instagram story.
Did he?
Yep. He shared that video on his Instagram story, which wasn't through my account. It was through the Complex account. But still,
Right.
you know, but I know I shot the video. So I go to school the next week.
Right.
That's
I walk up
awesome.
to that kid and like, look who
Decent.
also went to the
a
Travis Scott
flex.
show, and the weekend shared my video. Oh, and look, it's on 1 million views.
He
And the
would
kids are like,
fucking hate you. He's like, bro, stop flexing on
it's
me.
like,
What's
what are
going
you
on here?
talking about? Oh, so, yeah. So, so Complex hit me up about that. Triple J hit me up. Stop touching the thing. And then Converse, I applied.
Okay,
Converse
awesome.
All Stars applied. The program's been running for a minute, and this is the first time they've ever done where they're not hitting up people, that people actually apply.
Yeah.
And it led to like a huge intake.
Yeah. That's
And then, you know, I have so many peers who I'm in the scene with. Zion Garcias, MJ Soul, you know, Cherry Ripe, Iffy, Cat, you know, I could keep naming people. Shell's also an all-star.
Yummy.
And who applied and are now a part of this amazing program. So, but, you know, I guess for the most part, it's been, you know, people hitting me up. But, you know, I've also done my even share of, you know, reaching out because, you know, closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I want to work with someone, you know, I'd want to work with them. They don't respond. That's cool. You know, I'll catch you next time. I'll catch you in person. You know,
Bro, that's another great.
Yeah.
That's another great one. Closed mouths don't get fed.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Far
You miss every shot you don't take. Michael Scott.
out. Michael Scott.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much my approach to brands. It's been even, but you know, it's a give and take. But as long as, you know, I stay humble, I stay grateful for all my opportunities, and again, don't take it for granted, then I know that, you know, more are going to come in the future. It's just going to be, just coming through the door.
That's awesome.
As well as, you know, better ideas, better things within the brands that I've been working on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Do you have anything that really drives you to be an artist? And sorry if I'm going too deep, but even something traumatic. I know like just a lot of artists tend to have a side of them that is you know, they don't exactly show it off, but in reality it's the thing that drives them the most. And I was just wondering, is there anything for you that stands out? Is there anyone who influenced you, pushed you further, like things that really motivated you?
It's not really individuals, and it's not a traumatic event. or traumatic things at all. It's just I genuinely, it's genuinely just a love of music. I just love music, period. I love culture as well. I love sport. I love movies and TV shows. I love, I love being a fan. I love being a fan first. Of everyone who I collab with, the artists who in the scene who I interact with, I am a fan first, period. Like, even if I have you on a song, even if, you put out one song, I'm a fan. If I love your music, I love your music. And I just love music, again, period. I love listening to music. There's never a time I'm not listening to music. If I'm not listening to music, I want to listen to an audiobook about music. I want to listen to a podcast that's discussing music. I want to break it down. I want to understand why instruments do what they do. I want to learn about the history. I want to be a nerd about all that shit. I just love music. I love music so much.
That's awesome.
And that's what drives me. It's waking up every day and being like, what's new in the scene?
Yeah.
What's a new album that's dropped? Who's this new artist on the scene? How have they developed their style? What's this historical moment that I haven't learned about? What's this classic album that I have heard so much about but have yet to dive into? I've yet to listen to.
Dive into is right. No, I think you
dive
got it.
into.
You got it right.
Yeah. I haven't gotten into yet. That's it. That's literally
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the needle drops?
I love.
a lot?
I followed Fantano.
I
very
always
much.
hear like people
yeah.
go like, not a good take.
Yeah,
bad
which is
take."
fine.
He's got some ass takes.
Yeah.
Oh, Fantano, like, obviously it's your opinion. Like, fair enough.
Music is subjective.
Yeah, and like I do agree with some of your takes for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them are definitely like
Yeah.
not it.
See, I can't disagree because I don't necessarily have the musical knowledge, but I guess someone like yourself who studies
Yeah.
the classics, the history, the instrumentation, you would have a better opinion based on his. And it's always been curious because he is probably the biggest
He is.
reviewer in the world.
For sure.
So I don't know, that's always interested me because everyone always
Yeah.
has digs.
No, 100%. I look up to Fantano a lot about how he approaches his content. I model a lot of what I do, kind of off how he approaches it, but obviously not exactly the same. But yeah, I study at the school of Fantano for sure.
Okay, so is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a 6?
I don't think it's a 6, but I don't think it's Kanye's best album.
Oh, it's got to be up there.
It's, for me, 4.
Number 4?
Can we get the top 3?
It's College Dropout,
Yes.
Late Registration, Graduation.
Oh.
This
Used to be
guy's-
Graduation
This guy's good
first.
at his job. He's the best there is in Sydney. For that exact reason, pick the perfect top 4. I'd agree with that.
No, I mean it's hard because
The
like,
best.
like I don't know. I'm like the biggest Kanye fan in the world. So
Yeah.
like I glaze a little bit, like for sure. Like College Dropout's a 10.
Yeah.
Late Reg is like at least a 9.5. Graduation's at least a 9.5.
Yeah.
808s is like even if you don't love the music, like it's so influential that you can't
for
actually
sure.
put it below.
808.
You can't actually put it below a 9.5 again.
Yeah.
And then
Its
it's like
influences on the scene is up until
yeah,
now.
and then
it's
My
still-
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, it's like, okay, when you look at the context of the whole thing and it's like how he made the world's biggest comeback, you can't put it below a 9.5. And then it's like, Jesus, it's like you probably hate it, but it was so wildly different.
For sure.
And also, again, made
Yeah.
such an enormous impact on everything. It's like you look
Yeah.
at the producers and it's like, you
sure.
listen to it and you analyze it and you see how deep he's gone. It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
it can't
yeah.
be below a 9.5.
Nah, for
and then
sure.
it's like,
Yeah.
like you just keep going through, and then it's
Yeah.
like all the way up until like just after Pablo. Pablo's probably like the last one that you go like, you can't put that below a 9.5. And then I don't know what happened after that.
After that, from Yay onwards. Yeah.
He got cloned. That's the only explanation.
Do you separate artist and art?
Depends to the extent.
Okay.
Also, Kanye, I can't listen to a Kanye project anymore. I'm done. It's a wrap.
It's just like
I've never listened to Vultures.
been too much of a dry streak, eh? Is that what it is, or?
No, it's just him. It's just how he like. Wait, what do you mean?
No, I'm saying separate artist from art.
So like,
Faults, like you.
So
I think
you're saying you
understand what I
can't?
I can't listen to any more Kanye.
So you're
Like-
saying you can't separate artists from art, which is
No.
interesting.
mean.
Yeah. So, yes. So I guess I
Yeah.
don't separate artists from art. Obviously, there are extreme circumstances and parts where it's like, an artist that I love might say something stupid. And I was like, oh, come on, man, you didn't need to say that in a bar, but the rest of your project is really good. But no, Kanye's just gone too far for me to be like, "No, come on, man, you're hanging out with white supremacists and all that stuff, and I can't. So, you know, if you want to listen to him, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to, again, similar to Faith. I'm not going to be like, you should never listen to Kanye. If you listen to Kanye, you are the worst person in the world. No, go listen to Kanye. I don't care. But I personally have made my decision about his art. I'm still going to go back on the old stuff because it's so influential to me. I can understand, you know, where it switched after his mum died and, you know, how that really, you know, messed him up. But, you know, traumatic events doesn't still excuse turning into a trash person sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's not even really a hot take, to be fair. It's a pretty mild take. That's fair enough.
Pretty much.
I don't think people could unless they go like, you should be able to separate art from artists.
What about MJ?
Michael Jackson? I love
Why Michael Jackson didn't do anything wrong?
Yeah, not
Where's the proof?
Okay, yeah, I rate that. I'm the same as
Good.
that.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
We should have started this convo like an hour ago. Fuck, I regret all my decisions big time.
What about Diddy?
Oh no, that's a wrap.
What about who's someone else? Oh, do you
Kelly
listen
rap.
to
Yeah, I was
debate?
going to ask
R.
R.
Kelly a rap. Nope. I barely listen to R. Kelly anyway.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
like
it's like
for me,
Ignition
it
and
wasn't
like
that.
that's it.
Yeah,
Nah, for me,
not
it's
even.
Believe I Can Fly. I believe I can fly
yeah.
from the Space Jam soundtrack.
Okay,
And that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Can you listen to it?
If I'm watching Space Jam, but I'm not going out of my way to
Okay.
listen to a
Okay.
R. Kelly song. But I'll watch Space Jam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like.
But I'm not going to be like, because it's such a dope scene. It's the first scene of the movie. It's young
Just
Michael
missed the
Jordan
entire
trying to.
first part. What happened?
I
Yeah,
would
it's
just
like-
go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Piss. No,
But
no one got that.
yeah.
I didn't get it.
No, I got it.
You got it? You can't laugh.
Go to the bathroom.
Chug a piss.
Yeah.
It's all right. Don't worry about
That's
it.
right.
I'm slow. It is what it is. I'll just cop it. Maybe I'll laugh and it's really bad. That's okay.
It's
But
all
yeah.
right. Hopefully everyone understands.
Mhm.
Rapid fire.
Goodness.
All right. Yeah. Let's jump into
Rapid
rapid.
fires. Asterisks.
To be fair, we do have a
Oh, okay, cool.
a time limit.
Yeah, we do. We're sorry. I know everyone wants to hear more of the hot conspiracies with.
Yeah,
Ruth.
I was ready
You're
to
save
go
that
into
for the return.
conspiracies.
We'll
Yes, return,
definitely
done.
have
Yeah.
you on again, 100%. Like we've said to everyone thus far, especially because we're so early on on the podcast. Like once we gain a little bit of feet, legs, traction, God willing, we definitely want everyone back for part 2 because
sure.
the audience will know you.
Yep.
We'll be able to get deeper in
Exactly.
conversation, and like we haven't had any artists on yet that we're like, I don't love you. Like every artist that's come on, I'm like, just like, I love you so much. Even if it's like first time meeting,
sure.
it's just like straight away. It's just like everyone's been so sick. Let's jump into rappers because yes, we have like 14 minutes before 7. Nick, are you
I think
doing?
I did them last week.
Would you like me to do them this week?
Yeah,
or do we
that's
scissors,
fair.
paper, rock?
No, we can't do too many scissors, paper, rock.
So just for the start. Oh, how about the scissors, paper, rock is whoever intros,
Why don't you trade off questions?
like swap?
Why don't you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
Then it'll be even less rapid, bro. They're already not rapid
Why don't
enough.
you have your phone with the same questions?
My phone's on charge.
All right, let me stop trying to write it
All
down.
right. Rapid questions.
Yes.
All right, rapid fire questions. We have 60 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
You don't really have 60 seconds on the clock. Favorite artist?
J. Cole.
Favorite club in Sydney?
None?
Good answer.
Cliff dive.
No.
Best restaurant.
Best restaurant?
Yep.
Little Lagos.
Go to Macca's order.
24 nuggets.
Yeah.
Or
Nice.
sweet and sour.
Banger.
Vinyl or streaming?
For convenience, streaming, but for collection, vinyl.
Banger.
Give me a 5-letter word that starts with R.
Rudy, which is my name.
Sure.
Sure. Best movie ever.
Friday,
Best country to visit.
South Africa.
Did you make your bed this morning?
Yes.
Have you ever gone viral online?
I guess a video that I made, the weekend one.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, I'll count that.
yeah, fucking oath. You can't. That's can't. Best snack in the studio.
In the studio,
Mhm.
Oh goodness. I like something that's like gummy, like lolly related, not something that's like chip related where it just crumbles everywhere. So like gummies.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What did I do? I lost the rapids.
Just deleted all the rapids.
This is the fastest rapids we've ever.
Yeah, even with the fuck up, it's still fast as. What's a song you wish you made?
We.
Film Star Prelude by Zion Garcia.
Fuck. What
It's
an
a
answer.
local song.
What a great answer. You can only listen to one genre for a whole year.
Hip hop.
All right. Dead or alive, who are you collabing with?
Left Eye.
What a fucking set of answers this is. Pineapple on pizza?
No.
I changed my mind. Not good answer. What's a song that shouldn't exist?
What does the fox say?
What a great
no one
answer.
can even fucking argue
What
with
a
these.
great answer.
Bro, Fantano would give you a fucking 10 for these. First word that comes to my mind when I say spaghetti.
Bolognese.
You're DJing a 5-year-old's party. What's the first song that comes out?
The shark song. The tiny shark.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it?
Baby Shark?
Baby Shark. That's the one.
We've had that a few times actually.
Yeah.
That would be my answer as well. Who's winning a boxing match? Taco or burrito?
Burrito. It's heftier. Throws more of a.
It's the right answer. Unless you use the Match Charleston logic and you bring shanking
Yeah,
into the
you
equation. What's your favorite sound effect to use?
In like ad libs
In life.
in life. Quotes from Simpsons episodes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's just go with that.
All right.
Or Kendrick or any Kendrick Lamar.
All right. No, you have to give us an example.
Like a recent. A Kendrick Lamar example is the bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Just walking around like that.
Good. That's a fucking good one.
Or Simpsons one is it's like Methuselah rookie card. It's again so specific reference. But
That
anyway.
one's I don't get that one. That one's very specific.
Yeah.
But I like the.
I'll show you the
Kendrick
clip after.
one. Okay. Last dream you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I generally don't remember.
If you weren't into music, what would you do with your spare time?
I would get more into sport, like sports journalism. Like I love sports so much.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
So you would do it in Australia, or would you travel US?
I'd love to go to US. I love Sports Center. I look up to Stephen A. Smith. You know,
Yeah,
Taylor
sick.
Rooks,
yeah.
Malika Andrews. All of them. You know. And yeah.
Done. Best concert you've ever been to?
J. Cole, 2017, For Your Eyes Only tour.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my answer as well.
Mhm.
At Horden?
Yep.
Yeah.
December
fucking
4th. Yep.
Bro. Yeah, seriously, I say it to this day, like best concert.
Mhm.
How do we fix the Sydney music scene?
Natural collaboration, open to criticism. Genuine love. Top
Hell
3.
yeah. Bro, can you fault that? Mr. Roo, thank you for being on, bro.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to give you the last bit of the podcast
Mhm.
to speak to that camera or to the wide camera.
Yes. I thought
And,
that camera's black.
Sorry?
Wide.
Oh, the wide camera. The white camera.
Oh, do you think I said white camera?
Yeah, I was like, that camera is not white. That's a black. That camera is colored black,
bro,
sir.
It identifies as white, so just let
Ah.
it. Tell the people what's been happening.
Yeah.
That's your favorite sound effect.
I love that sound effect so much.
Yeah, shout out your Insta. Tell people where to find you, what you got coming up.
Yep.
Just wrap it up.
I got you. Yo, I'm Brew, aka the Cultured Black Kid. You can catch me on Instagram at the Cultured Black Kid Official. You can catch me also on Instagram for my music at ruu.tcbk. at the Culture Black Kid Officials, where you can find all my interviews, my content, my playlists. Make sure you go stream Southern Jewels out right now with Aztec Flow, 4-track EP on all streaming platforms. Make sure you tap into my Ruse Room podcasts. We're done for the year. Make sure you go rinse all the episodes and stay tuned for more, as well as just more content in next year. I'm going in. You thought this year was, a lot. I'm gonna piss people off with how much my face is just gonna be plastered everywhere. So, yeah.
Yeah. God bless you, bro. Thank you for being on.
brother.
Thank you.